Excuse me for smoking, folks. Alright, I'm going to start with this paragraph where I got chopped off mid-sentence. Whereas if the goal of communist imperialism were to be achieved, the people of this country would no longer enjoy the full and rich life they have, with God's help, built for themselves and their children. Prodigy was what I was looking for earlier in one of my earlier videos on this subject. I'm the end of my line. I don't have any kids. Never will. Don't want them. And I sure wouldn't bring them into the world now with what I think I know. Alright, with God's help, built for themselves and their children, they would no longer enjoy the blessings of the freedom of worshiping as they, this is weird, Severally, severely choose. The freedom of reading and listening to what they choose. The right of free speech, including the right to criticize their government. The right to choose those who will conduct their government. The right to engage freely in collective bargaining. The right to engage freely in their own business enterprises, and the many other freedoms and rights which are part of our way of life. And whereas the increasing menace of the forces of communist aggression requires that the national defense of the United States be strengthened as speedily as possible. Now, therefore, I, Harry S. Truman, President of the United States of America, do proclaim the existence of a national emergency which requires that the military, naval, air, and civilian defenses of this country be strengthened as speedily as possible to the end that we may be able to repel any and all threats against our national security and to fulfill our responsibilities in the efforts being made through the United Nations and otherwise to bring about lasting peace. I summon all citizens to make a united effort for the security and well-being of our beloved country and to place its needs foremost in thought and action, that the full moral and material strength of the nation may be readied for the dangers which threaten us. Well, that's exactly what I'm doing here. I'm putting America before me. I have nothing to gain by doing this. I do not like disharmony. I've had too much chaos in my life. So I ask you please to read what I've posted in some of the comments. That just take this as information. Don't overreact to it. Just do what you got to do with your representatives. And with your representatives, petition for change. I know some people don't agree with that standpoint, but I'm an American, and I owe my country. I owe my country. That's why I'm doing this. And I owe you, the people of America. Even though I don't know you, I'm pretty much isolated as it is, and it's a self-imposed exile that I live. I don't. I guess that's part of my growing up and how I was treated. I'm sorry to get off track there, but if my country needed something and it was legit, it wasn't just for money, I'd gladly step up, even at this date, in this busted up old body. I would be there for my country. Make no doubts about it. And if it meant my life, so be it. But as long as I know that my actions may have an effect, a positive effect on those in this country, I would willingly do that. You can't say, nobody can ever say that I would not willingly do that. You can give me all the MK Ultra drugs that they've ever used, Give me a polygraph, anything you want to do. You'll never find an answer other than that. No way that I can be manipulated to say anything different than what's really in my heart and is in my mind. You cannot lie and manipulate me like it was done in the past. So that's why I'm doing this. I'm doing it for my country. And if my country tells me there's a problem with me doing this, I'll have to respect that. Especially if it brings about um, chaos, confusion, and discord and disruption in all areas of one's life here in the country. That is not my intention. My intentions are truly altruistic. Um, Sorry, I've been rattling, so let me check my time. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm going to start again. Now, therefore, I, Harry S. Truman, President of the United States of America, do proclaim the existence of a national emergency, which requires that the military, naval, air, and civilian defenses of this country be strengthened as speedily as possible to the end that we may be able to repel any and all threats against our national security and to fulfill our responsibilities in the efforts being made through the United Nations and otherwise to bring about lasting peace. Well, I would trust the United Nations to fulfill any of its mandates as much as I would go out and get a bucket of water with no bottom in the pail. They have yet to do even one thing completely. That's the tragedy of it. I don't know if there was ever any intent for it to actually be where nations work together and were successful, or whether it's just fluff in the wind to distract us from stuff that's going on. On the surface, the ideal and the principles of it, I think, are sound. Uh, there's no way we can be a totally isolationist country in this day and age, not with travel times what they are. I summon all citizens to make a united effort for the security and well-being of our beloved country, and to place its needs foremost in thought and action, that the full moral and material strength of the nation may be readied for the dangers which threaten us. I summon our farmers, our workers in industry, and our businessmen to make a mighty production effort to meet the defense requirements of the nation, and to this end to eliminate all waste and inefficiency, and to subordinate all lesser interests to the common good. I summon every person in every community to make, with a spirit of neighborliness, whatever sacrifices are necessary for the welfare of the nation. I summon all state and local leaders and officials to cooperate fully with the military and civilian defense agencies of the United States in the National Defense Program. I summon all citizens to be loyal to the principles upon which our nation is founded, to keep faith with our friends and allies, and to be firm in our devotion to the peaceful purposes for which the United Nations was founded. I am confident that we will meet the dangers that confront us with courage and determination, strong in the faith that we can thereby secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. In witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand, and caused the seal of the United States of America to be affixed, done at the city of Washington the 16th day of December, 10:90 a.m., 10:09 a.m., in the year of our Lord 1950, and of the independence of the United States of America, the 175th. Harry S. Truman, seal by the President, Dean Acheson, Secretary of State. Well, we're almost there at the end, folks. Thank you for not going to sleep yet, or going to something that's frivolous and entertainment with a little jiggle in it.